Hi, welcome or welcome back. My name is Carson and this is my YouTube where I chat about knitting, making, crafting, crocheting, sometimes sewing, but today I have a very straightforward knitting podcast for you. I have lots of finished objects, some whips, works in progress, acquisitions, so let's just roll right into it. I have a lot to catch all up on. First off, I had a baby. Her name is June. Our daughter arrived about a month ago. She is so sweet and squishy. We were all very in love, especially my 2.5-year-old son. He loves his baby sister, so we've been in newborn land for the past month, which has been really enjoyable this time around, I gotta say. Since my last podcast, up until when she was born, I cranked out quite a few knitting projects, and then I also have been able to knit just like snuggling her when I rock her, when she's eating, like breastfeeding, so yeah. I don't know, she's over there napping right now very soundly, but I don't know how long I have to film this, so I'm gonna try to get through it because I got a lot of stuff. We'll see. So yes, without further rambling, let's just get into it. I have some finished objects. I will start off with a win because I have a loss. At least I think it's a loss right now. I could revisit it, but let's start off with this one. So I don't even know if I've shown this in a previous podcast, but I knit this beautiful Lento sweater. I'll try to insert some footage of me wearing it just so you can see it a little bit better, but yeah, this is my Lento. I love it a lot. This feels like a very special sweater because of the yarn, mostly, honestly, because of the yarn. But this is a very popular pattern. If you haven't heard of it, it uses a very small amount of yarn. It calls for fingering weight and lace weight mohair. That's what I used, and it's knit on a loose gauge. I don't remember exactly what needle size it's knit on, but it's pretty big for that weight of yarn. So it makes this very loose, airy, breezy knit, and yeah, it's so pretty. I love it. I don't have anything in my closet really this color, so it just feels really fun. I've been leaning toward blue recently, but yes, so the yarn I used is a mix of, let's see, the fingering weight yarn I got secondhand from a D-stash quite a few years ago. It is Plucky Knitter's Primo Fingering. It's a light blue color. And then I used... She's making noises. Okay, she is settled. We will see what happens. But I think I was talking about the yarn. So I used, for the main color, a yarn I got from a D-stash quite a few years ago, secondhand. It's Plucky Knitter's Primo Fingering, which is kind of a luxurious merino, cashmere, and nylon blend, and it feels very, very soft. So it's like a light blue base, and then this variegation you see is Capella Luna Fibers mohair, and it's one of the softest, nicest mohairs I've ever worked with. I kind of thought I had an intolerance to mohair working with previous projects because it just feels itchy to me, but I think I realized after this one that I just wasn't knitting with quality mohair. So yeah, this is so nice, and I love the slight variegation it gives throughout. It's so pretty, and I did modify this very slightly. I don't really remember what size I knit, maybe size 2 or 3, but I modified the neck band to have this crocheted slip stitch detail like around it. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it just gives it a little extra pizzazz. It's a very basic raglan construction, and it, in theory, works up really fast. I started this in March this past year, and I knit on it solely for a week, and I got pretty far. Like, I think I did the whole entire body, and then summer came around, the heat came around. I just didn't want to knit on it. I was knitting a lot outside. I hibernated it for the summer, and then I brought it back out right before June was born. I had lots of energy just to finish stuff, and this was one of those things that I finished, and I really, really love it. So yeah, I'm excited to wear this in the winter and spring. It is pretty warm because of the mohair, even though it's knitted at a loose gauge and it's very breezy. So yeah, I'm excited. And that's that. That's the first finished object. Okay, second finished object. This may or may not be a loss. Right now it's feeling, it's not feeling like a win right now, but this is my Suriop by Moki Knits. And this was a lit, my last podcast. I have since finished it. Before June was born, I whipped it out, finished it. And it was a really fun thing to knit on. And it fits well. The fit is nice. The details are really fun to knit, but I don't know if you can tell, it looks pretty sloppy, which makes me sad because I spent my time doing all the details and the ties and making it look nice. I blocked it and it looked perfect. Like the first day it was freshly blocked, but the yarn is really curling in on, which this is an Icelandic bind off, so it's kind of sort of supposed to curl in. But these details on the front, which I really love in the original design, they're all curling in. And I don't know if you can tell with this lighting, the sun kind of went away. But it just looks really sloppy. And so some fun detailing. There's some slip stitches around the armholes using a crochet hook, and then the neckband is I-cord, I believe. And then this is a fun like knit and then seam down with a crochet hook construction. Oh, I'm sorry. There we go. And then the ties are just crocheted slip stitches, is that what it's called? So lots of little crocheting details, which was fun since I've started to crochet just a tiny bit. But yeah, it just looks so sloppy, and the ties are kind of coming out even though I really tried hard to seam them well or sew them in. So I think I need to take the ties out, reblock, reassess, redo the ties and see if it looks better. Maybe a second block will help keep it in place. But yeah, this yarn, it's Patton's, what is it? Linen? I got it a long time ago at Joann, I think. Rip. But it just really curls in. It doesn't have much memory, I guess. I don't know. I was really hoping to wear this in the fall, really all year round. I think it'd be really cute on its own, with like a little bralette as a tank top, and then also over t-shirts or long sleeve tees, over dresses. I just had high hopes for this, and right now it looks so sloppy, which again makes me sad because I really, really tried hard to take my time, and it looked great at first, but it does not anymore. So I don't know. I don't even remember what size I knit. I knit this a while ago, but this was kind of my one summer project. I don't know. But you know what? It happens sometimes. That happens with knitting. Some things turn out, some things don't. We'll reassess. Maybe I'll have an update next time. Oh, okay. Let's do another finished object. I have quite a bit of finished objects, but this is a fun one. So this is the Ribka pouch, I think is how you say it. It is a fish pouch. Very fun little quirky knit. It was such a fast project, and it has a little drawstring, so you can put like chapstick, coins, your wallet, whatever will fit in here really, and you tie it onto something. It's kind of just been hanging on the wall in our dining room as decoration, but I think I just got a new backpack to be a diaper bag, so I think I'm gonna hang it on that and put my chapstick in it and stuff. Maybe my keys, but yeah, it's really cute, really quirky, very fun. It's a fish. I knit this a couple months ago. I actually knit two, one for me and then one for my best friend who lives in Washington who got married. I sent her a little package just filled with some stuff before she got married, and in that package I knit her a Ribka pouch as well. It was yellow and orange, blue, more of her colors, and it was really fun to knit. I did modify this one. I believe the pattern calls for fingering weight yarn, but I mean really you can knit it with any yarn, any size needle depending on how big you want it. There are a few different sizes. I think I knit like a middle size. I didn't quite pick one. It's like if you have the pattern you'll see it's very easy to customize, do what you want. But I knit this one with fingering weight yarn, sock yarn scraps held double, so it's technically like a DK worsted weight. And I knit it on a bigger needle. Don't really remember what needle. So it came out a little bigger. And I really like it. And I sewed on this cute little flower button I found at the craft store. It's just really fun. It has a crocheted like edge. That's how you seam them together. And that was totally new to me, but really fun to learn and to do. And so you knit this flat in 2 separate pieces. It's garter stitch and like twisted rib. And then yeah, you seam down the top to make a little drawstring. I think I knit this and constructed it within a day. It was so fun. I did knit the 2 pieces, the front and back, separately like the pattern calls for, and then I wet blocked them. I think I laid them out in the sun to dry quickly because I was impatient, and then I seamed it up and then added the, let's see, oh, the tie. So originally the tie is I-cord, but I just did a crocheted slip stitch and it works. It works. So yeah, I would like to knit one even on a worsted weight or bookie gauge with that type of yarn for Wilder, and maybe make him like a little sling, a fish sling to put like rocks in and stuff. I don't know. But yeah, this was really fun. Highly recommend. Super fun project. Oh yeah, and this is a little late coming in, but I will say I don't have as much time to edit these videos as I did in the past with our new little newborn. So I will definitely link and list everything in the description below, but I'm not sure if I'll put everything up here like normal because I don't know if I'll have time, to be honest. But anything I talk about will definitely be in the description below. I will link it. So now we have a sock parade. A parade of socks. Let's see. So I'll start off with the socks I think I knit first. I love fall. If you're returning, you know this. And I also love knitting socks in the fall and honestly in the summer too. But when I was pregnant, I lost my sock mojo completely. But toward the end, it came back, surprisingly. And so before June was born, again, I cast it on. Probably my favorite pair of socks ever. And the funny thing is these are just a basic vanilla 64 stitch cast on. I just kind of have my own little recipe that I've I guess preferred over the years, kind of tweaked for myself. So it's 64 stitch cast on. I did 2x2 ribbing for the cuff and a shadow wrap heel, my favorite. Never going back to heel flap and gusset if I can help it, unless I just get the urge. But right now, shadow wrap heel all the way, and then yeah, just normal toe. I knit these top down, and the fun thing are the stripes. It is a 3-row repeat, and it was super easy, super fun to do. These flew off the needles within a week. I think I knit both of these because the stripes were just so addicting. I did use a couple techniques from Summerlee, her book, The Sock Project, I think. Actually, yeah, it's behind me. The Sock Project. I used her jogless stripe technique, which I think worked out well. And then I also tried on the first sock I thought I needed to carry the yarn in a special way. So I tried to carry it per the instructions, but I think I did it wrong because it looks definitely not jogless, and it also looks like a slip stitch is kind of going through the middle. So on the second sock, I just didn't twist it. I just like carried it as is because it was 3 rows. It's pretty small, and kept my gauge like tight and tidy. Oh, here's the side. So it definitely is a lot better. I mean, you can still kind of see where the jogs are, but I did do the jogless method. And I like them. It doesn't bother me. They're fun. So yeah, I used... What yarn did I use? I think these are... I don't really know. I would just use some that was in my sock yarn stash. I think these were both scraps from something. I should have calculated how much yarn it took, like grams, because I have a lot of sock yarn in my stash, but the majority of it is used. Like I only have partial skeins, so I would like to know how much I used with this. I should have done that for each color so I could knit, because I do want to knit more stripy socks in similar color tones. Like I love the pink and red. I would love to knit some like green and blue ones maybe. I don't know, but yeah. That was really fun, very quick. Recommend trying some stripes if you have not for socks. Then I think I was on baby watch. Like August rolled around. Her due date was September 1st. She was born August 31st, a day early. But August rolled around and I was like, you know what, we're gonna be home for the month. I tried to start some projects that if she came I could easily pick up and finish just for like a quick win. So I started these socks before she was here earlier in August, These are oh, another noise. These are from Summer Lee's Colorwork Cuff Club Volume 1 from last year, like 2025. I think it's the August chart. I think. I'm not sure. But yes, so these are really fun. It's a colorwork cuff. I use, again, just some sock yarn in my stash. This orange is from Pearls and Postulates that I got years ago. And then this very pretty teal, bright teal, is from Capella Lento Fibers yet again. I sampled it for her last year or 2 years ago now. Honestly, don't remember. But I got some sock yarn as compensation for sampling, and I picked this very pretty color. So yeah, I use that for the color work and the toe. I knit the whatever size, I think it's medium, the 64 stitch size shadow wrap heel. And yeah, these are really fun. They also flew off the needles. I knit the color work, and then I put them on hold, and then I knit this color work, and then I kind of put them on hold, and in case June came a little bit early and I could just knit on basically a basic sock at that point. But I finished these before she came. I just kept knitting on them, and yeah, they flew. So, but that was kind of fun to do the color work in tandem, because sometimes, as you'll see, I'll do the color work, I'll get just the mojo to do color work, and then I'll knit one sock, and then I don't want to do the second because that has gone, like my color work spirit has subsided. So I'm glad I did that. I might do that again in the future. Those were fun. And then I casted on some more very basic socks in hopes of them being my newborn socks whenever June got here. So these are Emily's favorite socks. They are a very basic 3x1 rib. I did modify these for my normal 64 stitch count, 64 stitch cast on. And then I used the Capella Lento Fibers again for the stripy cuff. And then this is actually from my Lento. This is the base color, the Primo fingering from Plucky Knitters. And it's, like I said, the cashmere and the merino and the nylon is so soft. So these are like very special socks. At least they feel special. And they were so easy to knit. I love a basic rib sock. It hugs the feet so nicely. And yeah, I'm excited about these. And I did knit them a little longer than I normally do. So yeah, I'm excited. These are fun. Again, I'm leaning toward blue recently. One more finished sock project. These are so tiny. Oh my gosh, is it gonna focus? So these are the teeny tiny baby socks, I think is what it's called. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I knit these, not for June actually, but for a friend of ours who just had a baby as well, right before we did. She was a little tiny 5-pounder, and so she's still pretty tiny. So I'm pretty confident these will fit her feet. They are really, really, really small though. I put them on June just to see how they fit, and they were like perfect, but she has a really long foot. So I'm hoping they will fit our friend's baby. So I need to ship these off very soon, along with some other stuff we got. But yeah, these are really cute. The pattern is very straightforward, very simple. There's only one size. I think the pattern designer did come out with a second larger size. I'm not sure if that pattern is free, but yeah, these were free. It's on Ravelry. It goes to, I think, her blog, where she shares this little pattern. And yeah, I just used some sock scraps. I need to weigh this because I have a ton of like minis and scraps, like teeny tiny scraps, because I would love to knit June some too. I think if I knit her some though, I will go up 4 stitches at least, because ribbing is pretty like forgiving. It can stretch, it can bounce back. So I think I'll do that and knit them a little bit longer just to like mitigate, you know, her growing, because babies grow really fast. So I can ship these out before this baby can't wear them anymore. But yeah, I would highly recommend. I did also modify for a shadow wrap heel, which was really easy, really simple. I just did some quick maths. But yeah, that's that. They're so tiny. I don't know what else to say. They fit on my fingers. They're so tiny. They look like ornaments, and I guess our friend could use them as ornaments if she wanted to after, you know, she grows out of them. On to whips. I will start off, okay, we'll just keep going with socks. So this is a half finished object. It is a sock. It is from Summer Lee's Cuff Club Volume 2 from this current year. I did purchase that one as well recently, so I just thought it'd be fun to get the patterns like every month, something to look forward to, and I really do love all of her work. So I love this colorwork motif. It is flowers. I'm not sure what type of flower it looks like. Maybe a rose? I'm not sure, but flowers nonetheless. I am knitting this pretty much all in Cascade Heritage. No, that's not right. I'm knitting the colorwork in Cascade Heritage sock yarn, and then the white base color is actually Wool Warehouse's in-house yarn, Yarnsmiths. It's pretty much a dupe. It's very similar feel to Cascade Heritage. It's maybe softer though. It's a very, very, very soft. It does have nylon in it, or something. I think it's nylon to make it like a traditional sock yarn for structure. But it is very soft, and I'm so curious how it's going to wear because of the softness. I'm not sure. I'm a little scared, but I'm also was very scared to cast on white socks because I have dogs, and I have a feeling these are going to be cream soon. But I really loved the idea of like a very high contrast red against the white, and I love how it looks. I did a contrast cast on. I just don't know how these are gonna wear. And again, this is an instance where I was really craving color work. It's 3 color work. I knit this, I think this was my first project when, like my first new cast on when June arrived. Which is kind of wild because like I said, it's 3 color work. And so I had 3 balls of yarn going at the same time while like feeding her and holding her. So it was a little interesting to manage, but I was into it. It was fun. Now though, I have lost the mojo to cast on the second one, so yeah. I mean, I will finish these eventually, but we'll see. And I did the pattern recommends going up a needle size for the color work, which I did, but I also increased to the second size above mine to also mitigate, because a lot of times my color work socks with this like shadow wrap heel in particular are very tight to get on, so I wanted to make sure this one fit well and I could get it over my heel. And although it does like fit well in this area, you can see my gauge between the colorwork and just stockinette is so wildly different. I'm hoping it'll block out. On the foot it looks fine, which is really all that matters, and it fits over my heel perfectly. And I have noticed, I knit these on 9-inch circulars because I have tried to knit colorwork on magic loop previously, and I did not like it because my tension was odd around like the beginning and end of needle 1 and needle 2. Although I prefer magic loop for all other socks, I did knit these on 9-inch circulars due to the colorwork, as well as my other colorwork socks. But yeah, my 9-inch circular gauge is so much tighter than my magic loop gauge, and so this main body is a little tight on my foot. Again, maybe it'll block out. I might have to gift these socks though, I don't know. They're really cute though, so I do want to finish them, just not right now. I'm not putting that pressure on myself. Knitting is not that serious. I'm giving myself permission to knit whatever I want to knit, cast on whatever I want to cast on. Like I said, it ain't that serious. Okay, let's see. On to the next. We'll just get through the socks. So I have another sock that I just casted on a couple days ago. These are very basic, plain, self-drafted 2x2 broken rib socks. I did a contrast cuff, again 64 stitch cast on, and I am using some sock yarn that is an acquisition that I just got. This is Lionhead Knits sock yarn in the colorway Old Books. She just released her like fall collection, and it's so pretty. I would describe it as like a gold tonal with specks of red and green and brown, very subtle specks. It's really, really pretty though. It screams fall and autumn. It also reminds me of chanterelle mushrooms and soup. So yeah, I saw this and I've always wanted to order something from Lionhead Knits. I just love all the yarn she puts out, so I was very excited to order this, and I cast it on a sock I think the day that it came in the mail. So, and this contrast little cast on is I think Cascade Heritage. So yeah, it's a little dark because the sun kind of went away, but hopefully you can see it. I'm really enjoying knitting on it. This is just going to be a very casual, mindless knit, and I will probably finish this pair of socks before I finish the other colorwork ones, just because it's so mindless. So I've been enjoying that. I will try to speed through. I feel like she's starting to stir a tad bit more. Okay, so this is also something that I casted on right before she got here to have something mindless to knit on. This is a very basic 1x1 ribbed beanie in a very, very bright poppy red is how I would, again, describe it. It might come off a little bit orange on screen, but it's very, very bright red. I love this color. I'm using a free pattern on Ravelry. It's called Ribolation. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but again, I'll link everything below. Very basic 1x1 rib beanie. I am, however, knitting it inside out. So I knit the brim, and then once I got to a certain point, I did a very quick German row turnaround, and I'm knitting it normally now besides the German short row turnaround, but at the end, after I like seam it up, I will flip it inside out, and that will be how I wear it because my ribbing is way more neat on the wrong side. So that's why I'm doing that. I know quite a few people I've seen have done that on podcasts, and it looks really nice. I also attempted a tubular cast on 1x1 for the first time ever. I was very scared. Anytime a pattern tells me to cast on tubular, I ignore it. I do long tail just because it scared me in the past. 2x2 still scares me. I will probably still ignore that for the foreseeable future. But I did this 1x1. I was like, I want this beanie to look very nice, very polished. And it does. It looks so nice. I'm definitely going to do this again in the future. I used Stephen West's tutorial on YouTube. It's so much easier than I thought it would be. And I'm very proud of myself for doing that. Taking the time to do that little extra detail. I am also knitting this for the Fish Girl Make-Along, hosted by Young Folk Knits and Sew by Sew Designs, I believe. It's a make-along that's running through November, maybe? I don't know the details, don't ask me. But it's reminding me of like a fisherman's beanie, like the traditional ones. I am not knitting mine as short as that, like the ones that just go over the ear or kind of go above the ear. I'm not going to do that because that looks so silly on my head. But I think the bright red, just 1x1 beanie gives that look. So that's my reasoning for this being in the Fish Girl Make-Along. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm knitting on this very slowly though. Like probably every few days I do a few rounds. It is very mindless, but maybe too mindless and a little boring. And I won't be able to wear this until November, December, so I'm not really rushing. I mean, I would like to knit it before the knit along ends, but you know, again, it ain't that serious. So that's that. And I love this yarn. It's Barocco Ultra Wool in the worsted weight. And yeah, I don't know how it's coming off on camera, but it's definitely like a bright, bright poppy red. And I love it. I will briefly show this last whip. I haven't done a ton on it though, so I'm not going to talk about it. I talked about it, I think, a bit in my last podcast, but this is Nana Duck by Cynthia Valet. It's in her book Moosh and Friends. It is this little duck stuffy. Since I last showed her, I think I did complete the arms, feathers, and then I'm working on her little booty right now. All I really have left are the legs and the tail feather. So I think if I buckle down and knit on this in a nap time, it would be done, and I would just need to do her cute little dress that comes with her, but it's just hard to knit from a book right now. I'm really craving the mindless knits. So that's why she's not done. I did start this well before June got here and I just didn't finish it, but it's okay. I'll finish her one day. Wilder really wants her to be done, so he's gonna get her hands on Nana before June does, which is fine. So yeah, one day I'll finish her, and I'm just using yarn scraps. I think my local yarn store might have dyed this yarn, but it's just fingering weight sock yarn. It's really pretty yellow. Okay, lastly, acquisitions. I am very excited about this. I recently purchased some yarn for a sweater for myself, which I have not done in a very long time. So I purchased linen quill from Pearl Soho. I just got some Pearl Soho pearl Soho yarn for my husband a few months ago, which I showed in my last podcast. I have not casted that on yet because I'm also committing to knitting him a sweater. It'll happen, just not at this moment. But I have really been craving a sweater project to work on for myself, and I did promise him that I would knit our sweaters in tandem, which will kind of be fun because I'm using pearl Soho yarn for both of them. Different types of yarn though. His is, what is his? Good wool, maybe? I really don't remember, but this one is linen quill, so it's fingering weight, 50% fine Highland wool, 35% alpaca, and 15% linen. And it's in this really pretty purpley plum color. It's called Chestnut Red, I believe, is the colorway name, but it looks plum or purple wine to me almost. I don't usually gravitate toward this color, but I really love this for fall and winter. And I would like to knit the Mirielle blouse, which I will try to pop a picture up somewhere. It is like a pointel inspired lightweight sweater. It does call for light fingering weight yarn and held together with lace weight mohair, which it calls for knitting for olive. That's the recommended yarn, knitting for olive merino and their mohair. I don't want to knit a ton of projects with mohair just because I do have, you know, a little newborn. I don't love her being around mohair a ton. So especially since I just knit my Lento, which has mohair, I tried to knit some stuff without as well. So I opted for linen quill, kind of on a whim, because it has that alpaca. I feel like it'll kind of bloom in blocking and make up for that mohair that isn't there. I don't know, we'll see. My plan is to swatch today. I'm 100% swatching. I need to swatch because I might end up going down a needle size and knitting a bigger sweater size to kind of mitigate for my potential off gauge. I don't know if I'm going to be off gauge yet or not. I could hit it with this. Who knows? I will update you next time. But yeah, I'm really excited for this sweater. And I have 4 skeins of this. I don't even know what size I'm knitting yet. Again, I need to swatch and figure that out. But I think I have plenty of yarn either way. So yeah, I'm very, very excited for that. I'm excited to swatch because I love the pointel lace feature on it. Alrighty, last thing, acquisition. I was gifted a copy of Knit a Little by Marie Green from Page Street Publishing. They reached out to me quite a while ago and I was, I guess, pregnant, didn't see it, so I responded kind of late. But they were very sweet. They wanted to gift me a copy of this book. And of course I said, yes, please, I would love it, especially since I have a new edition. So it's 24 seamless patterns for children's sweaters and hats. And I actually have, I realized after looking through this book, I have quite a few of Marie Green's patterns, like these specific patterns, favorited on Ravelry. So yeah, like I said, lots of patterns. They're all very cute. I would love to knit while they're in June, like matching sweaters one day or matching hats. So I'm excited about this. I haven't knit anything yet or cast it on, but I think later on, like once it starts to get cooler, I will. Right now I'm just not that motivated because it's really hot. Like, I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt, but just simply because it's cold in this room. It is, I live in Texas, near the coast. It's hot, it's humid. Still waiting on that cooler weather. It's not here yet, but hopefully it'll come. But yeah, that's it, y'all. I have been reading a ton compared to before. Like, when I was pregnant, I stopped reading totally, but I am back on the reading train. I am slightly scared that she is about to wake up, though, so I think I'll save all my reading updates and thoughts for next time. But yeah, thanks for joining, y'all. I am very excited to chat with you today, and hopefully it wasn't too rambly. I mean, I feel a little out of it just because I have been in like a new headspace the past month, but it's all been very exciting. So yeah, I hope y'all had a fun time. I hope y'all are knitting on something that you love. Let me know what you are working on in the comments below. I would love to hear all about it. So yeah, I guess I will see y'all next time.